He said, "Ma makhraju minha ya Rasulullah." How do we avoid it? What did the Prophet say? Did he say, man, look, when the fitna come, man, pack up, man, and try to go to Utah. When the fitna come, man, try to get up out of here, man, look, find you a hole somewhere and dig in. No, he said, Kitabullah, the book of Allah. That's it. That's it. The book of Allah is the least book that we read as Muslims. And what's interesting, to show you how deceptive Shaitan is, one of the people mostly addicted to, Facebook. And we know that that is what Allah says that's going to happen to us on Yom Al-Qiyamah, is we're going to face our book. He's putting it in your face and you're still not getting it. We're deceived. Facebook, that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to face our book. And this is what Allah is telling us, and they play with the words of Allah because they know our hearts have become sick. So you spending more time on your telephone on Facebook and not thinking about the book that you got to face by getting in the Quran so it can continue to remind you that you're going to meet Allah. This is a sickness. So we have to identify. Imam Ghazali, rahimahullah, he said one of the greatest blessings of Allah is to give you the ability to acknowledge your wrong, your sins. See, every individual got to look at himself. Where am I going wrong? What am I doing wrong? And like the man, he was honest. He said, man, it must be me who's holding up the rain. How many of us think that we're playing a part in what's going on in Syria? Your sins, see, that's why the Prophet ﷺ said the ummah is like what? Like one body. He didn't say like one family. Because you can dismiss, you can stop talking to your brother, but you're not about to cut your right arm off. So he uses that the ummah is like one body. So when you feel something, when the ummah is going through something, we all connected. So if that man there feels like he was the one holding up the rain, then what the hell are we doing regarding the Muslims in Syria? It's something we're doing that's causing them to be in that situation because we over here relaxed. I swear by Allah, they over there suffering. Yemen is suffering. The Muslims in Somalia are suffering. The Muslims in Africa and Northwest and Sudan, they suffering. They almost in a state of famine, total famine, and we over here watching the Super Bowl. And we talking about we love Allah and His Messenger. We just running our mouths. Muslims. Stop saying you love Allah and His Messenger until you're willing to make a sacrifice. If not, stop saying it. This is America. Go party. Don't waste your time in the masjid. You get clubbed. It's Friday night. Just got paid. Be Muslims. Be believers. This is serious business. And that's why Allah threatens us. Threatens us. We don't take it serious. But we fear everything else when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One day and you got to check yourself. One day I was parked in the wrong place in Chicago. I thought about this. I was parked in the wrong place. And I knew I had to get up early in the morning to move my car so they wouldn't write me a ticket. I woke up late. As soon as I remember, I jumped up. Get on my clothes real quickly and I'm running down the street. And when I started running down the street, the thought came into my mind, you don't jump like that for Fajr. I had to catch myself. Now, this is not a joke. I had to catch myself. I don't jump like that for Fajr. But I jump like that from the fear of a $50 ticket. And I say I love Allah and His Messenger. No. What we do in Fajr, if we pray in Fajr, that's one. Let alone getting up and jumping. He said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he heard the adhan, he jumped up. Aisha radiallahu anha, she reported that when she would be sitting there with the Messenger of Allah and he's talking to her like a wife, and when he heard Allahu Akbar, she said he acted as though he didn't know her. What are they saying? He acted as though he didn't know her. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Musa, why are you ta'ajjud? Why are you rushing? He said, "Ajiltu ilayka rabbi litarda." I'm rushing to you, Allah, so that you can what? So you can be pleased. What's the whole story that we love to read about doing Hajj? And we love to talk about Sarah going to Safa and Marwa. And when Ibrahim had been given the commandment, and he walks away, we talk about the story, but what is the sign? What is the ibrah? way, and she said, where you going? And he keeps walking away. Where you going? And he keeps walking away and not saying anything to us. What are we supposed to learn? We're supposed to learn that what? Ibrahim was showing us that when Allah gives you a commandment, I don't even have no words for my wife. Allah tell me to act, I move. She had to bring Allah in the picture. Amarak Allah? Did Allah command you? Yes. That's the only word he gave her. He commanded me. She said, okay. Allah won't leave us. He was on the move. Musa, when he saw Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he met Allah, when Allah spoke to him in Mount Tur, and Allah said, go to Fir'aun, he left his family in the desert. And then he thought about his family. And in the tafsir it says that Musa kind of thought about his family and said, wait a minute, just a little hesitation. And Allah knew that he was hesitating because he was thinking, I got to go to Pharaoh, but I'm leaving my family. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Musa, look at that rock. He said, take your staff and hit the rock. He cracks the rock, man, the rock cracks open. It's another piece of rock inside. He said, hit it again. He cracks the rock and it cracks a little bit and there's another little piece of rock. He said, hit it again. He cracked the rock and inside the rock was a little ant-like bug with a leaf in his mouth. Allah feeding it 3 levels down. If I can feed that ant way down in them rocks, I'm going to take care of your family. Go to Pharaoh. Go to Fir'aun. Until we act like this, we get ready to get drama. I'm telling you. These people are working 24 hours on how to extinguish the light of Islam. 24 hours. And Allah tells us, we can go on and on. We have to wake up Muslims. This is not entertainment. This is a society that has got people confused of their gender. They got men wanting to be women and women wanting to be men. This is serious business. So we got a problem. But we got superior knowledge. And that's the only thing that's going to help. So until you make up your mind, then we in trouble. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Muslims, stop looking at what the kuffar have and desiring it. And not be deceived by what they have and how they're just walking about. The Prophet ﷺ was even told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لا يغرنك تقلب الذين كفروا في البلاد. Don't be deceived by the moving about of the disbelievers. They look like they living the life of Riley. They driving Teslas. They got all the technology. Things looking like just happy-go-lucky. And there's a tendency for us to be inclined towards that. Trying to, the pressure, the peer pressure. Allah Azza wa Jalla had to tell the Prophet, don't be deceived by that. Mata'ul qaleel. It's just temporary enjoyment. وَمَأْوَاهُ جَهَنَّمْ. But their abode is the fire. Sa'at masira. What an evil abode. So stop looking at the glitter. Because Allah says, because what they do is for them. We can't be successful doing what they do. Because that's not what we live by. We do things that's different because we are different. And Allah commands us and tells us, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, in tuti'u alladhina kafaru yaruddukum ala a'qabikum fatanqalibul khasirin. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, oh, you believe, if you follow and obey the ways of the disbelievers, they will not fail in turning you away from your heels. It saddens me how Muslims are trying to be like non-Muslims and appease them. And why do you want to be like that? What does they have to offer you that's better than what Allah has given us 1400 years? What has it? What do they have to offer? And Allah says you worship things that they can't benefit you, nor can they harm you. When Allah says they can't benefit you, meaning that if you don't worship them, they're not going to throw you in a fire. I don't own a fire. You don't worship me, I got a fire. I got a Jannah. They don't have a Jannah. Why are you worshiping them? Why are you concerned about them? This is all the life. This is all an illusion. This is a delusion. But if you stay away from the Quran and you just Facebooking, then you're not going to be reminded that this dunya is nothing but an illusion. So therefore, our hearts, I know our hearts are sick. Our hearts are dark. And the only way you're going to be able to regenerate your heart is by the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, do you laugh and don't cry? We can watch a movie and cry. Wallahi, Hollywood has mastered the sentiments of the human being. You can watch a movie and literally be teary-eyed. And you can listen to the Quran and it don't move you. Allah said, "La anzalna hadha Quran ala jabalin ra'aytuhu khashiyan mutasaddihan min khashyati." Allah says, but if this Quran was thrown and put on top of a mountain, the mountain would crush asunder. تلك أمثال نضربها للناس لعلكم يتفكرون. لعلهم يتفكرون. Allah says, and we send this as a parable so that you may ponder. What do you ponder over? Why isn't this Quran affecting you like it should? When I'm letting you know, if you put it on top of a mountain, it'll crumble, but it's in your hand and it ain't making you feel like nothing, but you can watch the Titanic and cry. And this ain't nothing but fiction. This is fiction. And they got you crying. And you're looking at your wife. This is not real. He didn't die. He's alive. He was in another movie. This is all fiction. This is some of the most sophisticated magic that we've ever seen in the history of mankind. Be mindful. Protect your eyes. Protect your heart. Protect your Islam. Protect your Imam. It's not easy. Wallahi, it's not easy. You're in here, you hear it, you feel good, but when you get back out there, it's a war. And I know it. It's not easy. That's why Allah has us to come together, hear this reminder, and inshallah we get back out there and we fight. Wadhkurullahi kathira. Remember Allah much. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His mercy. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive him and forgive us. We ask Allah to bestow His mercy upon all the ummah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bestow His mercy on those Muslims in Syria, those Muslims in Sudan, those Muslims in Somalia, those Muslims in Yemen, those Muslims in Africa, those Muslims all over the world that are suffering and are struggling and fitna and trials and tribulations. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bestow His mercy upon us. We ask Allah to guide America's leaders. We ask Allah to bestow His mercy upon America and guide the leaders of America to the deen of Islam. We ask Allah to protect us from the hellfire. We ask Allah to give us Jannah to Firdaus. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, Ya Rabbil Alameen, A'izz al-Islam wal-Muslimin, wa adhill al-shirk wal-mushrikeen, wa dammir a'da'i din wal-munafiqeen. Wa rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka anta wahhab. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا لا تدع ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مرضا إلا شفيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. أقيموا الصلاة.